Hey everyone, Paul Johnson, Waconia, Minnesota, and the Laughing Trout Fly Tying Club. Today I'm going to be tying my panfish woolly bugger. I think a woolly bugger is one of the most versatile flies that there is. You can change size, colors, do all kinds of things, imitate all kinds of different critters that fish like to eat. This is designed for panfish, so it's tied on a size 10 Mustad 3366 hook. It's got a 3.4 millimeter brass bead. I'm always going to start with this combination. So it's got a white marabou tail, it's got white chenille, grizzly hackle, and then there is a wrapping of small gold wire just to hold everything together. Just show you a couple other combinations of most popular ones. For me, this would be yellow and black. I tie one with all black, of course. This one is black with a red chenille body. Tie them in olive and purple. But as I mentioned, the white is the one I'm going to start with. And what I like to do, especially spring and early summer, is you're casting up to a weed edge, and I like the white because you can see it in the water. So you can, fly disappears, you know a fish took it. So that's kind of how I like to fish it. So here, the hook and the vise. I already have the bead on. Thread I'm going to be using 6/0 uni. Being this is a white and grizzly one, I'll use white thread. Then I've got a plume of marabou. Typically use one. Sometimes I'll use two if it's a little bit thinner. Want the tail to be about a hook shank in length, so I just get a couple wraps of thread in here. Check it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And now it's a little bit miserable to work with. What I like to do is just kind of get a hold of it and then move my thread wraps forward up until the bead. And what we're trying to do here is just make sure we keep a smooth underbody. And now I can come in and carefully trim off that excess marabou. Don't want to cut your tying thread, as I did when I was doing my practice fly. And then bobbin hits the desktop, not fun. Wrap back, just make sure I got it back to the bend of the hook. Now I've got a strand of that small gold wire. Tie that in. I just keep it on my side of the hook shank. Then I've got a piece of white chenille, and I use small chenille for this one, or fine it comes. I picked a little bit of the fuzz off the end, get down to the stem, give me a tie-in point. And then I'll wrap that forward in touching turns to the eye of the hook. Now avoid the temptation to really pack it in behind the eye, because we do have to get our thread wrap, or our wraps of hackle in there. And we also have to have the wire in there. So with the thread right behind the bead, I've got a rooster feather, shiny side facing towards me. So what I did is I clipped a little bit on the bottom, if you will, just make a little comb, and then I cut it back a little bit further on the top. And that'll give me that first wrap. So I'll just tie that in right behind the bead. And then we're going to make a couple wraps right behind the bead, and then I'm going to start working my way back in even spaced wraps. I'm going to get a hold of it now with my hackle pliers and try not to bump the camera. Do your best just to get even spaced wraps. Working to the back here. And then when you get here, it's a little bit tricky. You gotta kind of change hands and get a hold of that wire. Take the wire up over the hackle. Now I'm gonna just release my hackle pliers, and don't let go of that wire or everything's gonna come unwrapped on you. So on this size 10, I'm gonna make about 5 wraps of wire, and that just is gonna work through that hackle. Makes this fly pretty gol darn durable. Get that wire right up behind the bead. capture it with my tying thread. And then I'll helicopter that off. You can cut it if you want, but with the small wire, it helicopters pretty well. Come in with my whip finish. Cut my tying thread off, and then I can come in and just clip that last part of the feather off. So there it is, panfish woolly bugger. Check it out this spring and summer, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks, take care.